It'll be fine.
Everything's fine until it's not. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Shit, I have to mute you. I hear you 2 times.
Oh,
Anyway.
spice.
Anyway, that's how you have to talk to a cat, remember? Hello. Well, hold on. I have to play the lovely animation. No.
That.
No.
Da-da-da.
Why is Shini such a big cat?
Because I have a big cat.
Also, everyone looks big comparative to you. Okay. The only person you're outshining right now is Jeff, and that's because he's literally the size of a football. So.
He's so cute.
And the frog.
And the frog.
Well, the frog.
That's on the bread. Don't eat that bread.
That's Sarah's bread. She would eat it.
Don't
Frog
eat
bread.
that bread.
Fred.
He's sanitized.
No.
Fred.
He's clean frog.
We got Jeff and Fred.
Different Fred. Anyways. So, welcome to the podcast. This week's
The way you said
this week's topic is fanfic. I thought we had already covered it with Faye before. No, we covered hyperfixations, and fanfic was one of yours. That's how we got into that topic.
Oh.
So technically, this is the first official time we've covered fanfic as the topic. So Sarah did miss that.
Yay.
But anyways, we're gonna get it out of the way. I want to know everyone's weekly obsessions from left to right. Sarah.
Technically, it's not really this week's obsession, but it was last week's, and I couldn't talk about it, but it's different for me, so I'm gonna talk about it anyways. Is Hunger Games.
Oh god.
Wow.
She's been watching them.
I recently saw the Hunger Games movies for the first time. Because Quiz's sister asked me just randomly, "Have you seen the Hunger Games?" And I'm like, "No, I have not."
Well, now you're gonna.
Yes, and they're free on YouTube. So we decided to watch them, and I really liked them. They were really good. The ending was a little disappointing in my opinion.
Well, yeah.
It was good. I liked the first and second movie more than I liked the third movie.
I mean, in terms of just details and wrapping things, I mean, it's still not fully satisfying, but it's much more satisfying than I remember the movie being. The books are just ultimately better.
Yeah, I want to read the books because while I was watching, I'm like, there's so many times where I'm like, there's a lot of things on here that would be so much better if I could hear an eternal monologue.
You haven't read the books.
I have not read the books.
You haven't seen the last movie, have you?
What?
Prequel.
The
No, I haven't seen any of I haven't seen the prequel. And I know they're making one based on Haymitch's experience in the games.
In the games.
Which one is Haymitch?
The sponsor, the mentor of Katniss and Peeta.
Oh.
The
wild guy.
yeah. I really like when I was into Hunger Games. I liked reading about his fanfics.
It's fanfics.
Like focused on him.
You know, there's fanfics about him.
There's probably fanfics about everything.
Everybody.
Anyways, so that's Sarah's. Shini.
Recent obsession this week. I have been watching people react to Ruby this past week on YouTube, and
Like the anime Ruby?
No, the original Monty Ohms production, not the anime version of it. So I've been watching people get hyped for it, seeing the trailers, and then I watched like a couple of dudes watching like volumes 1 through 3, and then seeing volume 3 honestly broke my heart again all over.
Wow.
But it was great to see their reactions to it because it was a really good
that's when a character
volume.
dies.
Yeah, I extremely adore this series because me and Faye watched it all the way through together, and honestly, it just made me really want to rewatch it again. Yep.
I just really hated that after Monty died, like the fighting quality went down. I'm like, damn, he really was like
honestly
one of a kind.
Rewatching it, yes, it did go down, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be because it still had its moments of like, okay, wow, they're really doing that. But you could definitely see that they cut back on a lot of like the high animation that Monty usually does with the fighting styles and the creativity of it. Because I think I saw like a repetition of one specific move that they did like a lot more And I think people just mostly miss that Monty's variety of different fighting styles that he would bring into the production series. But then again, he made the first 2 seasons himself, so
Yeah. Do you watch the anime yet? I haven't.
I haven't watched it either. I think we said we were going to watch it and we never did.
I'll watch it with you
Wow.
guys because I haven't seen it either.
Okay, it's a
I'm down.
date.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
A 3-way.
I've seen
You can join quiz.
I don't want it to be a 4-way
Why not?
with my cousin.
Well, I mean, it could be a freeway.
You're the only one that laughed at that joke, Shini.
I've seen every season of Ruby up until the last one because they only aired it on Crunchyroll at first instead of the Rooster Teeth website.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
literally
I had to borrow Kester's Crunchyroll to watch
Yeah,
it
I'm
with
gonna say
Shini.
Faye finagled the
And then they
the
didn't-
last
they-
season for us.
And then they waited a year to release it on the Rooster Teeth website, and now it's gone from the Rooster Teeth website because Rooster Teeth doesn't exist anymore. So now we have to look through other means. So I'm still waiting to watch it with my brother because he loves Ruby.
I loved it. Even if it had its like questionable stuff and the
He had
storytelling
Ruby.
was
Yeah, storytelling is iffy sometimes, but he had Ruby, I had RBB, and that was our Rooster
thing.
Teeth things.
Do
I'm a
roosters have
champion.
teeth?
No.
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 How do you know? Have you looked a rooster in the mouth?
Yes.
I have.
They don't have no
Yes.
fucking teeth.
They hurt still though when they peck you.
Hell yeah. Sharp as beaks in the south.
And claws. Goddamn.
In the sun.
In the
Anyways, Faye,
Faye.
Faye, what's yours?
Currently, I'm obsessed with looking up artwork for the DC universe right now. So mostly Batman, but I have found some like really nice Superman, Supergirl, Superboy in the Super family. But yeah, just I'm obsessed with looking up artwork for DC. There are so many amazing artists on Twitter that I can go through hours of just artwork. And now that the Brazilians are gone, I'm trying to find them in a new website. I forgot what it's called, but it's like Blue something. And like I follow them on Twitter and they're like, hey, look, we have like over 1 million people signed up for our website. And it's like a dupe of Twitter when people thought Twitter was going down, which who knows, it still might, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm trying to get on that website now and see how it works, but it's still in the like very baby stages, so it's very
Bad.
not yeah, it's not great, like the performance wise and how it looks, but if I guess if Twitter really does go down, that's where like everybody's gonna be going off to. So I'm trying to learn and trying to find all of my old artists, all of new artists, because Brazil said what it said and did what it did, and now all the Brazilians are off of Twitter.
I love how
What?
it makes it seem like you solely follow Brazilian people when it comes to fanfic stuff.
You know what's hilarious? I didn't realize how many Brazilians I followed. I
That also makes it seem like you're
lot.
stalking them. Like you're following
Don't
them.
say that. Don't say that. I followed their artwork. I didn't realize how many Brazilians I followed for their artwork until they were all saying goodbye on my feed, and I'm like, what? Where are you going? I need your art. Come back.
Wow.
She's stealing it for herself.
But also every time we talk to you, you're always obsessed with the same thing in a different context.
Okay, so listen. I've told you before, I hyperfixate, and I can hyperfixate for years. I hyperfixated on Minecraft Technoblade in particular for like 3 years. And then now I've like got out of that, and now I just started with DC again, like this year. So I'm like, this is gonna last another like 1 or 2 years for me to hyperfixate and get tired of these characters again.
I'm
I don't
scared
think
of
so,
what's
considering how
next.
many characters there are in DC.
Girl, I'm in trouble. I might hop along with all of the
As you
all
can
of the
see,
characters.
she's addicted to the D.
Okay.
Stop!
Shini, why have you been in this kind of jokey mood lately? I
You've
don't
been in- for real.
understand. You were doing it even last night. Like, what was going on?
I want what you're having.
I had a hot dog.
Well,
Is that a euphemism?
No,
oh
right?
god.
No,
Okay.
it's just hot dog with chili.
Do I have to bring gooning into this too?
No,
No.
you don't have to bring in gooning at all. It could disappear.
Forever.
It'll never disappear. It'll always be in your minds now.
It's permanently
Anyways.
on our Wii now, so.
It's true. The Wii is gooning.
Oh
Anyways.
Jesus! All right, what's your obsession? This week,
Mine is another song, and this one is a K-pop song, but this this is specifically
Is
just.
it the girl
No,
one?
it's not, because that only came out this Friday. Although I am obsessed with that. But I'm counting this more as an actual weekly obsession of like there's this song called Love Attack, and it's by this new group called Rescene. And I had been looking forward to this group's comeback because they had debuted like at least a couple of months ago. And when I first listened to it, I was sad that the chorus did not sound as hard-hitting as some of the guitar riffs that they randomly put in there. But now it's grown on me. And it reminds me of like Rina Sawayama Excess, which I know none of you know what I'm talking about. But, and I don't know, for some reason it's been stuck in my head and the melody's been playing over and over again. And that if you want to do a runner-up, then yes, it's the Girly Girl song. Which is called Crazy by Le Sserafim. And I swear that's the only reason why Overwatch had a resurgence in the Le Sserafim skins this week, where they came back. Because they had a comeback, and I can't get the line "all the girls are girling" out of my head.
That's a line in the song?
Yes. All the girls are girling. And then
I came across...
act like an angel dressed like crazy.
I mean, words to live by. But I came across a random reel and I sent it to you, Quiz. But it was just of a dog, and I thought this was the song initially because it's like, I have a girly secret. Do you want to know what it is? And it's just like, I killed a man, and I thought that's what you had been referring. Like, I thought you had seen this reel, and this is what you had been referring to this entire time, because it would be so like you to do that.
But wait, what part did you think I was referring to specifically?
I thought this was a different part in the song.
It was a song?
Yes, you have to look at the reel. It's one of the more recent ones I sent you. So, it's a dog wearing a tiara.
What a Pretty Little Liars thing are you going on about?
Okay, no, I think that's an AI song, first of all, from what it sounds like. But no, that's not what I was referring to. I'll show you it after the pod if you want to see. Not that. My thing. But anyways.
Not that.
Okay. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, welcome. Who shall take the floor? I know two of you are much more experienced, unless Shini is hiding a deep secret, which she could be.
I'm gonna say, I feel like
When's
this
the
is
last
kind
time
of
you read
Sarah's...
a fanfic?
Me?
Yes.
Today.
Okay, never mind. She's much more experienced than I was led to believe. What was it about?
How about you, Quiz?
It was an on and off thing, honestly.
Yeah, what was it about?
It's about a guy who...
What fandom?
Honestly, you know what? Let me just go ahead and tell the truth. It was a Yu-Gi-Oh fanfic.
Hell yeah, girl. Hell yeah.
Well, there you go.
Get it, girl.
Don't get Yu-Gi-Oh, please.
It was a soft, fluffy one. It was like, you know,
What's the pairing?
Seto was married and had a kid and stuff like that, and the people at his company were calling him soft and stuff like that, and he took a little bit of offense to that for to his ego. And so he had called up his security and was like, go ahead and find and dig up some dirt on this guy. Let's blackmail him. And then he ridiculed him and happy ending, basically.
That was a happy ending?
It was a one shot anyway, so it was fine.
Okay, well, you know, never mind. Shini, you're in their club.
When was the last time you
I don't remember. Typically, it's when I'm on the toilet. It's when I'm like bored on the toilet and I have my phone and I think, oh, I can look up like blah blah blah. Like, and it's typically only stuff along the lines of like Shini's, where it's like one shots or something that I just randomly find on Tumblr. Because I used to have a Wattpad account, Didn't write on. Well, I don't think I wrote on it. I don't remember writing on it, but I never had like an AO3 or like a fanfic.com sort of one.
So, where do most of us read our fanfics from?
AO3.
I just get Tumblr because AO3 is a lot of investment.
I go between AO3 and fanfics.net.
I haven't gone back on fanfiction.net in like 2-3 years.
Well, yeah, because of that whole like they changed the policy or something like that, so you couldn't do explicit stuff on there anymore. So a lot of people had
and
to.
that's the reason she left. She's like, all of my NSFW Brazilian fics are gone.
Well, where did they go?
It did suck though, because there was a lot of stories and stuff, explicit things, obviously, that I did read a lot of. And then I went back and then I was trying to reread it again. And they had like, basically had to like go back and edit like 20 plus chapters to make sure that it was okay in the guidelines, or else they would get in trouble. And it wasn't stupid. The same, because it was just like, damn, bro. I want the spicy.
You gotta save them.
Yeah, a lot of my authors though, like, would say, hey, we're moving on to AO3 if you want to continue reading this particular one.
The big migration happened.
Yeah, that was the big migration. I was one of the lucky ones, because you have to like wait a while for you to get invited into AO3. And
I forgot about that.
I was really lucky. I only had to wait like 3 days, I think, when I first made it, because I did it right at the beginning when they were still like not very popular. So I got in almost right away, and I was like, I am never looking back.
I think it only took me a day, but I didn't do it right when the big migration happened. I waited a couple of months. So
I was never on fanfiction.net, so.
Well, I had an account on there, so.
I can still get on my account and I can see all of my fanfics that I favorited, because I was sick. All right, I was a sick child when I well, I was 11 when I signed up for fanfiction.net, and here's how sick I was. I would go to school, do my homework, be a good child, and then I would sit at the computer and I would look through, so the way I would read it is through update dates, right? I didn't like going to the old ones because it could potentially never finish. So I would only do from update dates. And I would go back like 10 pages of update dates, and I would mark where I left off on an update date on all of these fanfics, and I would look through each and every single one of them and read as many of them as I could. And I would never miss like an update. And if I had to like go somewhere for a day with my parents or something, I would mark what day and what fanfiction I left off at, so that I can come back, go back to that date, to that particular fanfic, and start from there looking at all the new ones. I was a sick child.
Girl, I could, that was too much dedication.
And all of them were not safe for work.
I was glad when they said like, yeah, you could receive an email for an update of a fan fiction. I was just like, oh, okay, cool, sign up. That's it.
See, telling you this with love, Faye, you may have a bit of the tism.
Yeah.
I was never diagnosed with it, but I have a feeling that I might have a bit of it.
Experience, I'm like, okay. And you were talking about hyperfixations and how they last like years. I'm like,
At least she didn't call you disabled.
Having her notepad at her desk at this moment.
You disabled? At least I didn't get that question.
Yeah, no. Why did you? Okay, hold on. So every day.
Every day.
That you could just like leave it for a week and then read stuff like on the weekend. No, you could have.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm explaining it correctly, because it's just the front page, right? Like of whatever. At the time it was Inuyasha, right? So if you go to Inuyasha and I would look up like Kagome fanfics, it would list it on what was updated that day. So let's say 9/1/24, and then I hadn't read from, let's say, August 30th. So I would go to whatever page it was. It could be like 20, 30, whatever fucking page, to the day that I had not read fanfic, so the 30th, and from there go forward to see all of the updated fanfics to see if there was anything new that I could read.
So you just kept reading new ones?
Well, yes.
New ones and ones that got updated.
Yeah, exactly. That was my biggest thing. Like, I wanted them to be actively updated, because if they were old, that means that they might not get updated, and I'll never get a finishing. That hurts a lot.
Yeah,
it's happened too many times.
It happened to me recently.
It happened to me recently too. I was like, oh, I can't believe I let my guard down. And yeah, the fanfic was like 3 years old, hasn't been updated. But I will ask this. I didn't mean to do this. But when I read that fanfic, I left a message, and I was like, oh, I really like this fanfic. The courteous thing to do when you read a good fanfic. And I am part of a Discord of DC, right? And I was chatting about it in there, and I was like, oh yeah, I really like this fanfic, da 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 da. And the author was in there, and they're like, I'm so sorry, I haven't updated in years. So I was like, hello. And she like she's like, it's probably not gonna get finished, but here's like what would have happened. So at least I got some
closure.
Wow.
I was like, oh shit, I got real lucky there, buddy.
Well, yeah, no, never had that happen.
I used to do a similar thing where I would check every single night when I was about to go to bed and check all the fanfics I was currently reading to see if any had been updated. But I haven't done that in a long time because I haven't found any fanfics that I've been like really into that are currently updating. So
I have an email just for my fanfics.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well,
yeah.
Well.
Because I got like at first when I first started, it was just my regular old email, but then I have like over 5,000 saved fics, right? Like I have a lot, and it was getting too much for my email, and along with everything else that I was getting, so I had to make a completely brand new email and then put all of the updates on that one. And I had to like sit through and send myself all of these updated, because I have a thing where if I'm out of the fandom, I don't want to like stop reading the fanfics, but I'll put them on pause. So I'm like, if my hyperfixation ever comes back, I can just jump onto this fanfic again.
that happened to me with the My Hero Academia fic, where I specifically was like, I want to read this fic again, but it's probably updated past the point where I was.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't. To be fair.
Oh no! Shit.
Oh.
But I ended up reading the entire manga of My Hero Academia, and then I got back into the fic. And no, it doesn't get past like I think the third major arc, like canon-wise, because then it starts doing its own thing. So,
now, my question is: do you guys like reading in-universe stuff, like, or do you guys go out of like AUs?
Well, it depends, because I feel like if you want an AU, that's all you want. You don't want the in-universe at all, because the in-universe comes with rules.
Yeah, that is true.
And the amount of times that you find like the coffee shop ones or like the magic ones. Oh, the magic ones.
Yeah, I think coffee shop is one of the most popular ones that I've seen.
I like the bakery ones. Those are cute.
Coffee. It's pretty much a coffee shop. Magic ones. What's
magic
the other
ones are like a hit or miss for me.
Unfortunately, Alpha Beta Omega one is
yes,
very
the
popular.
ABO ones are very
popular.
You want to talk about gooning?
Apparently, apparently pollen ones are also very popular with certain groups.
Pollen?
What's the pollen ones?
Do you know what I'm talking about when I say pollen, Faye?
I think I do. I just recently got not into the tags, but like it happens in the DC universe. So, but I'm not sure if it's the
with
same.
One Piece. There's a lot of sex pollen.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought,
oh my god, is that what that's technically called?
Yeah. So DC has it because of Ivy. They use Ivy's like pollen, but a lot of the times it's not just.
That makes sense.
Yeah, well, she has pollen that is actually like that. That actually happens in the comic, apparently. She has different pollens that make you
Aphrodisiac.
Yeah, pretty much. But for the fluffy people, they have cuddle pollen instead of sex pollen.
Oh, that's kind of cute, though.
It is really cute. Like, when you just
stupid.
Shut up, leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's more of a, so in the DC spectrum with Ivy, it causes pain if you're not in physical contact with somebody. Like, ridiculous amount of pain. Like, we'll go on the floor and die pain.
Huh. I think I read actually this week a pollen fic, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Why is this here? I mean, don't get me wrong, I was just like, huh, okay, you know what, I can get down with this, but at the same time it's just like there was a lot of them, and I was just like, I don't like that there's a lot of this going
What
around.
fandom was it?
It was a Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, fair.
I wanted to actually, I looked up and I have a list of fanfiction terminology if we wanted to go through some.
Yes,
Oh,
I
God.
love fanfic terms.
Well,
Some of them are like really basic and like self-explanatory. So
Do you have like some of the old ones, like lemon?
Oh yeah, there's those. One that isn't on here that I wanted to talk about was the dead dove do not eat tag.
I hate and love that tag. Depends on how it's used.
well, I think this is the part where me and Quiz are gonna get lost.
That's
I was
okay.
already lost.
You can learn with this.
So the dead dove do not eat is I think it's a reference to Parks and Rec,
Yes, I believe so.
where one of the characters, there's a bag in the fridge that literally says dead dove do not eat, and someone opens it and it's a dead dove, and he says, I don't know what I expected. And so when it's like a heavy trigger or kink fic, they put the tag dead dove do not eat. Basically, we tagged it properly. If you go in here and start complaining, what are you expecting? This is your own
Exactly.
fault at this point.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so it's a warning. Gotcha.
It's a warning of like, hey,
Warning
we
saying
tagged
this is fucked up.
Yeah, but wouldn't
Yeah.
you see it in the tags that it's fucked up?
No, that's
Yeah,
the
but
point. That's the point.
Yeah, people still will go in there and complain about it,
Mhm.
even though it's properly tagged. That's why
It's
they
properly
put
tagged,
dead
yeah.
dog do not eat, and it's usually for really messed up things.
Yeah, like cannibalism.
Yeah, you'll see it in a lot of Hannibal.
I can imagine.
I
like,
love those fans.
Non-con,
Yeah, non-con.
incest,
Yep, anything that you think
War.
is fucked up,
cannibalism.
or anything, you'll see dead dove do not eat.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, and that's personally I just love the tag, how it
Psychopathic
works.
tendency.
Yeah,
I see it and I love it because it's often like, okay, I'm not reading that because it has dead dove do not eat. I don't want it. I
See,
have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of stuff in
Some
there
of
that I
those
don't
are
want to read.
fun.
Here's
to
the thing.
read.
Yeah, no, for real. So a lot of dead dove do not eat. Like they tag very, very clearly. So when I see that, I know like, hey, read the tags and make sure that there's nothing in here that will upset me.
Yeah, usually, but that's why usually when I see dead dove do not eat, I'm usually like, there's other tags, and I'm like, I don't want to read this, and I just go about my merry way. But
See,
I'm like,
but,
thank you
like-
for tagging. Woo!
Yeah. See, but yeah, no, like that's just like the safest way to do it. But I'm okay with a lot of like, I mean, I read Hannibal fics. Like cannibalism does not bother me.
Clip it.
But shut up. That's not what I meant.
She
Just
was
saying.
talking about human meat before.
No,
Oh, God.
no,
Days ago, and how it tasted like pork.
It's true.
That's true.
Mm.
not fair. Anyways, not the point. In fanfic terms, Hannibal doesn't bother me. So that's why I'm actually like what I meant with reading carefully the tags, because some people might not be okay with cannibalism, and that's fair, and some people are, because how can you avoid it when you are
say
into the Hannibal fandom? With reading it!
Because you're not
Watching it in a show!
specifying.
Oh my god. You know what I meant. Not in real life, in fanfic, in the fantasy world.
You're also the same person that was looking at torture methods, so you know.
I wasn't looking up. It was.
Admit I've looked up torture methods too, so.
See?
That's not better.
You know,
It was like
this
a
isn't helping.
documentary on torture methods, okay?
I went to a torture museum where they had old torture devices.
I really want
It's
to
in
go
St.
to one.
Augustine. We could go there.
Oh,
I
dear
wanna go.
God.
I'll take you, Faye.
Thank you.
It also has a miniature museum where there's a bunch of miniature art that we can look through microscopes.
That's cute.
So,
okay, well, anyway,
and they have an entire back wall of torture sex devices.
Okay.
So,
well, shit.
Okay,
I'm just
back
saying.
on topic.
Shini, I don't want to go there with that.
I went with my
Well,
dad.
I'm glad that I live in a different state, so I don't have to.
You come down every once in a while.
What money?
It could be well, yeah. Right now, what money?
Also,
Exactly.
please
Anyway.
don't say, let's make a trip out of going to the torture sex museum with miniature artworks through a microscope.
I think it'd be fun. Anyways, so that's Dead Dove Do Not Eat.
Dead Dove Do Not Eat. The first one on here is the exclamation point, the exclamation mark, or the bang symbol is also what it's called, where it's basically used where it's like to notify different AUs, kind of like characters for different AUs.
Yeah.
So coffee shop, Yu-Gi-Oh, let's say, because reading Yu-Gi-Oh fanfic, so let's just say this is like Baker Yu-Gi-Oh, Baker exclamation point Yu-Gi-Oh, just denoting that this is not canon.
Yeah.
The canon character.
Or like
this
they'll put a
is-
description next to it or something, right? Like homeless, this character.
What?
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And that way, it makes it so that you look at it and know what you're getting into with reading character-wise.
People
Like,
like to
Go ahead.
people like to use it kind of to like compare like canon characters to AU characters, and so it's mainly used specifically so you don't have to write out this character in the story context, so you can just say this story exclamation point the character, and that denotes it properly.
Yeah, it's especially useful when certain fandoms have a lot of AUs that are very popular. So, for example, like Minecraft, the DSMP, certain characters were in other SMPs. So, like, it'll say Origin,
Yeah.
this character versus DSMP, this character.
Yeah, I did the example in
Yeah.
the chat of how it's usually used.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've
It's
seen that at least.
yeah, very, very common. It's very useful.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Keep going.
The next one is A/A, which is action adventure.
That
Which
is
is
not
just
what
your
I would
genre.
think that would say.
What did you thought it was?
I'm not gonna say.
Ass and ass?
Ass to ass.
Never mind.
No.
No.
What did you think it was?
Nothing. It was nothing. 'Twas nothing.
Keep going, Sarah.
Doesn't
Action adventure is
lemon?
pretty normal.
Doesn't lemon mean sex?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it means explicit.
Because
Yeah.
I always remember the
No,
lemon.
no, Mikey, come back. It's okay.
I always
Don't worry about
remember
it.
the Lemon Party website where it's old people naked.
No, well,
What?
What?
Look it up.
No, I'm good.
I'm good. Lemon is a
Look
very
that up.
There was Lemon
Very-
Party and then there was Goatsy, but Goatsy kind of looked like a prolapse anus.
no,
There's a subsection called anime fandom terms that we'll get into once we
I-
get there.
can't wait. But yeah,
Um,
lemon is a very, very, very old term. Nobody really uses it anymore. It was
Well,
like
they don't have a reason to in AO3 because they have the explicit tag now.
that,
So
yeah. Well, I mean, so
I still
So-
see it sometimes.
I never see it anymore unless
don't
I go
see
on
it anymore.
fanfiction.net. If I go on fanfiction.net,
Yeah.
I will find it. But it's relatively old. It was back when I was 11, which was too long ago.
Again, when she was 11, reading Not Safe for Work fanfic.
I don't care what you say. Yes, I was reading fics that I probably shouldn't have been reading.
This
and I don't
explains why
care.
she is the way that she is.
same.
And Shitty's the same.
I was like
Listen.
probably 12. It was definitely in middle school when
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
reading
definite-
things
yeah.
that I was not supposed to be reading.
It was definitely middle school. Actually, I remember my best friend at the time was the one who introduced me to fanfiction.net. And
That's the one
he-
who I have an account with on fanfiction.net. Was my best friend in high school. We made
Yeah.
one together.
Yeah,
Because
so
we
in
wrote
high school.
together.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
In high
Yeah.
school, I had another really good friend, and we made an account together because she would read fanfics that I would want to read, and I would read fanfics she wanted to read. So we would like save them together, so that we can like exchange it. Anyways, not the point.
Next one is Abandoned, which is just referring to a story where the author has just not finished it
and doesn't plan to.
It's been an
Breaks
abandoned
my heart
story.
every time.
Right?
Yeah.
Every time I see that tag, I'm like, no, bitch.
Abandoned fics are likely to remain permanently incomplete unless offered up for adoption by another author to finish.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would very blatantly be not the same though.
Well, yeah, you literally say that. It's like, I adopted this story because I wanted to finish it, but it's probably not going to be the same as it was.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of people are still happy with it as long as the writer
Like approved it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you're just doing something inspired by it.
Yeah.
And you just say, because I've done that. I've written fics inspired by other fics.
Yeah. And then AO3 has a great system where you can actually
you can tag it.
Yeah, you can tag the story that you were inspired by, or if it's like a continuation to somebody's
or if
one
it's
shot,
a gift, or if they're part of a series.
Yeah, it's really, really nice because a lot of the times, like, I'll be reading a fanfic and they'll be like, oh, this is a continuation of this person's one shot. Here's the link. And it's like, oh, let me read that first so that I can continue on with yours. It's very useful.
Mm-hmm. It's very nice.
Very, very nice.
Wow.
Next, we just have adult, which just refers to the presence of graphic or explicit sexual content or violence.
Yep.
Spicy.
Nice to meet you.
Next is, I don't know if this is specifically an a fandom term, but it's aftercare.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That is for BDSM.
It's for BDSM. I don't think that's specifically like a fic.
No, it's not just for BDSM.
I was gonna say, I don't think
yeah.
it's just BDSM.
It's not just BDSM, but it is tied.
Activities, basically.
Yeah. It's tied to that because of going into that high can be dangerous to just leave somebody there. So it's aftercare of just taking care of after.
It could also just be somebody who got their brains fucked out and they were just not able to move.
Yeah.
The gooning, if you will.
So that's typically what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see
I read something this week about that. So.
Was it Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
Well, it's either that or Final Fantasy, or some mysterious third option that we don't know about yet.
There's many options that I have, so it's fine.
We can talk about what fandoms we read later.
Well, the next one is the ABO dynamics.
ABO. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one's just standard.
We don't need to go into that one.
I don't want to go in.
I don't want to. It's very popular.
Next one. This one is amnesia fic.
Oh yeah.
I hate those. I hate amnesia. I hate amnesia in fanfic,
But cannibalism.
in shows, shut up. I just don't
Your
like.
lines are really weird.
I just don't like amnesia fics. Okay, I don't like amnesia storylines. They just bug me.
They have to be done a certain way for me to like them.
And they have to be short. I don't like it if it's gonna last like 15 chapters. If it's one chapter, fine. I can get over it. But
I like it when they last a long time, honestly. Because it just means that they're redeveloping something. And then it's just like that spark of when they get it back, or if they get it back.
If they get it back. Yeah, no.
That's a good plot line, honestly.
I don't like anything with memory erasure.
I read a One Piece fic not too long ago that was specifically one of the characters ended up getting temporarily turned into a little kid.
Oh, I love that.
That sounds like a nightmare.
But this specific kid had a very messed up childhood, and so it kind of got, and the other characters didn't know about it, so it got to kind of see how these characters would react to how traumatized the little kid of their friend is, and then he got turned back into his normal self at the end of it, and like how it changed the dynamics and everything. So I thought that was really interesting.
So I can read those kinds, and DC actually has a lot of those.
So kids and cannibalism.
Shut up. That's not true. But yeah, like
What about cannibalistic kids?
I've read that before. And
what about cannibalizing a kid?
No. Children are off limits.
At least she has that.
But yeah, so in the DC universe, because magic is a thing there, that plotline happens quite a bit, and because a lot of the Bat fam is all kinds of fucking traumatized in many, many ways, especially in childhood, it does great for the angst.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So I have quite a few of those saved. So that I can deal with, but I just don't like, I got hit in the head and I forgot everything. Oopsie daisy. I just don't like
if it's something simple like that. Well, considering how hard to get hit in the head, though.
Yeah, okay. Anyways,
next is author's notes, or A/N, which is just when the author is talking directly to the audience.
I used to hate when they would do that, like in the middle of a.
Oh, I
fanfic.
hate it when they do it in the middle.
You give me the author's note at the top, and that's it. Don't interrupt.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't think I saw that before, actually. It's always been at the top or bottom.
That's where it should be.
That's where
Wow. We have some elitists here.
It's true. Next.
Angst. We all know what angst.
We all know
gone.
Favorite.
Love that.
I feel like that's in every single thing these days, though.
Not in fluffy ones.
Yeah.
I guess I never have gravitated towards fluffy ones.
I don't see you being into the fluffy fix. Honestly.
I don't see you being into fluffy fix.
Anon or anonymous.
As in the author?
Yeah, where an author or reader is anon.
The reader?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
So
In AO3, you can comment without needing an account if the author allows it.
and you can post anonymously as well. Even like it won't be tied to your account at all.
Yes.
And it's fantastic for those who want to write very, very spicy things, but don't want it to be tied back to all of their like fluffy stuff.
I feel like that's a hint to Faye. But
and often people will denote it with like specific things, where sometimes they will like put an emoji or say like I'm spicy Anon or I'm sleepy Anon or something like that, so people know it's the same Anon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
They're also very popular for ships that aren't popular, and or like the fandoms are crazy if you ship two people together kind of deal. So
K-pop.
they'll go on anonymous just to like avoid all the fucking hate for their comment for their works.
God.
Which is so stupid.
K-pop.
People need to fucking calm down. Let people live their lives. It's a story.
Sorry, this is off topic, but I did not realize how big the fucking BTS fan fiction was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you have never realized that.
Well, because I never go into that section, honestly.
Yeah, but even
especially in AO3.
Yeah, but even don't you see? Is AO3 the one that I'm thinking of where you can specifically look at all of the different tags that exist, or you have to search up a specific tag?
No, you can look up.
You can do either.
You can do either or, yeah.
Because
That's how I found out.
Seen, yeah, like in the giant list of things, you'll see a lot of ones related.
I was trying to find one, and literally, I think the first one was like Jungkook and like somebody else from BTS. I don't know how to say his name.
Oh, they also love shipping them together.
I was just like, what the fuck? Why are there so many of these?
BTS tag has, just the BTS tag has over 200,000 fics in it. Over 220,000 fics.
I have a question for you guys. Kind of related. How do you feel about fanfic written about real people versus characters?
I knew this was coming.
Because Faye's gonna have a controversial opinion. I think it's weird.
I think it's weird. I think it's weird too. I don't like real people. But it's a weird line though, because
Faye and I especially have this because we are in the Minecraft YouTuber fandoms, where the fics we write are not about the real people behind the screens. They are about the characters they portray in the game. Yeah. Because more often than not, they portray a story. Yeah. So that is what we are writing the fic about. We are not writing about we're not writing or reading fics about them behind the scenes. Which is why a lot of people really hate that a lot of Minecraft YouTubers real names are in their tags.
Yeah,
because we're not writing it about
exactly. A lot of people are like trying to get certain names off of the Minecraft tab. So like instead of putting shit, I forgot Tubbo's real name already because it's just Tubbo to me, the character. But like his real name is
it
attached.
Thomas or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter.
Unless they use their real name, like in the Littlewood is usually known as Martin rather than in the Littlewood because that's a longer thing. Or Smallish Beans is usually Joel.
Yeah, and then the same with Phil. His it's Phil Za, but his name is Phil. But we always, it's such a gray line because of they're so attached to their character and they pretty much are their character, but we don't read about the real person.
Yeah. Personally, I think it's harder to separate the two when you're watching streams, especially when they have face cams.
Yeah.
I've gotten a little bit over that because Solidarity Gaming, aka Jimmy, uses a face cam in all of his videos. So if I want to watch any of his videos and I want to write fanfic about that, then I have to deal with the fact that I can constantly see his face. But he's also a really good actor, and they talk about it constantly, how they are acting.
Yeah. It's also really helpful when there's a lot of art on their characters. So instead of visualizing them, I visualize their characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally agree with you, Quiz. I don't like reading about real people, fanfic wise. I have never read a band like BTS fanfic.
Yeah, no.
Nothing like that. I like fantasy characters.
Well, I know I've seen some before for like, I swear it was like Spider-Man or something. I didn't read it, but I saw it in the tags, I'm pretty sure, where it like specified Tom Holland Spider-Man. And at that point I'm thinking, why are you not just writing a fanfic about Tom Holland? Because that's clearly what you're trying to do.
Well, what I think is happening in that is they're saying they are writing in the Tom Holland Spider-Man universe, not in the Tobey Maguire universe, because they're two very different universes.
Yeah.
I would like to believe that, but I've seen some bad examples.
So it's, so as the newer generation starts writing for fanfic, it's them learning at the same time how to properly do things. And it was a big pain back during COVID times when a lot of people were indoors and had nothing else to do, and we had a really big surge of fanfic readers, and they were all like, not all of them, but a lot of them were fucking rude and like did not show the proper fanfic etiquette because they weren't part of that community. They just jumped in because they were bored.
Oh.
I mean, isn't that kind of what happens on TikTok these days?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm sure.
Probably.
But yeah, I was reading something that somebody had posted basically saying like, if you're over 30 and you're still like writing fanfics or into this fandom, you're wasting your life away. And everybody was like, you do realize that the great fanfics that you are reading and all of the artwork that you're seeing are from people who are much older than in their 30s who is still into this fandom, right? Like, it's not all little 18-year-olds with this amazing fucking talent. No, it's people who have been building their craft for years.
Yeah.
I swear I remember, in a similar vein, not exactly the same one, but I remember this year's art fight. Apparently, obviously, like, I would assume that a lot of people that were raised on the internet at least know what art fight is, even if they've never participated in it. Shini.
Sorry, I don't.
Well,
I don't know what that is.
Thing. Do you remember all the art that I was posting in art?
That's the only reason why I know about it now is because of you. Like, I literally just learned it
when you were small. And by small I mean child. Where did you? What was your relationship with the internet? Like, what sites did you visit?
Barbie.com.
Wait, how young are we talking? Because yes, DeviantArt was on there.
I didn't really go to DeviantArt.
See, that's what I'm saying. because it was like the DeviantArts, it was the Tumblrs, it was less Twitter when you were younger, but more Twitter when you get to teen and older. And I feel like Instagram, iffy, not really that much, but basically the whole art fight thing, that where artists can attack each other. I didn't realize that there was a whole point system. Like, I knew there was one, I just didn't know what the rules were. And I still don't
point system?
Yeah, I still don't fully know them, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like Team Start, like there's 2 teams and you're put onto one team or the other. I was on Team Seafoam this year, but a lot of my friends were on Team Stardust, and Team Stardust won.
But yeah, so basically, there's like all this, there's not only just there's a point system, there's the teams, there's also like an etiquette behind it, similar to like how you just wouldn't trash talk someone, or like you wouldn't just pick certain people to like try and do artwork of, all that stuff. And it got more traction on TikTok this year specifically. Don't know why, considering, but it got more traction to where there was like a really big boom of younger new people trying to do art fight stuff, but not knowing any of like what it actually was or how to properly do it in a way. And because of that, it made a lot of people, like a lot of the older artists that had been doing it for years, get really overwhelmed with a bunch of people attacking them, versus like the new people not attacking each other because they're like, your art sucks, I don't want anything from you. And it created a lot of discourse, to my knowledge, in that community, because a lot of people were like, this isn't okay. I feel like you should educate yourself before you actually try and participate in an internet event, kind of. Because it's like a yearly thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry.
No, you're fine. It's part of it is the entire point is that no one owes you art. So a lot of from what you explained, it sounds like a lot of people were attacking with the hope of getting revenged by good artists, which is not the point of it. The point is to just draw characters that you think are interesting. Like I bookmarked so many characters. I attacked friends, I attacked people I didn't know. I did do a lot of revenges because a lot of people just randomly attacked me, and I'm like, why am I getting so many attacks out of nowhere? I don't know any of these people, but they keep attacking me, and I'm like, okay, I love all this art, and even though some of it is not what I would consider maybe like some of it was very clearly more practice than the other. It wasn't bad art, but it was a very different style, or it was a different level of art. But then you compared it to my art, where it's very not good right now. And it's like, but it's still loved because it's free art that you're getting.
Yeah. And that's in fanfics, a lot of people also defend the authors because it's like, this is free. You're getting something for free that the author is happily writing and sharing, again, for free. Be nice in the comment.
Because fan fiction writers do what are they called? I forgot what they're called.
Big bangs?
The what? Look,
What?
describe it to Shini.
Oh god, it's like, well, it's not really an attack thing. It's just like they kind of collaborate with other artists or something, and then ficlets, is that what it is? Or
It sounds like a disease.
I can't remember the name of them, but it's like over a course of days or something like that. They each have like posts every day, or
yeah. They're just certain events for certain
yeah
fandoms,
like Inktober.
Yeah, it's it's a lot like Inktober, and a lot of it does happen in October. But yeah, they'll have like this event going on where you're supposed to write every day about a certain, like they'll have topics that you're supposed to write about. And yeah, it's like a good way to practice your writing to just, and then again, it's shared for free. And yet people still will make dumbass comments in the comment section, basically like saying, oh, this wasn't written right, or like this, you messed up a lot of, like a lot of the fanfics will even say like, this isn't my native language, and then they'll just be in the comments trying to like fix all of their mistakes when they didn't ask for it. Just accept the fanfic.
There's a reason that I specifically don't write One Piece fanfics anymore. And that is because I posted my first One Piece fanfic, and the only comment I got on it was saying how out of character Luffy was. And and there was no positive feedback in that comment. So I just deleted it, and I was like, I'm never gonna write a One Piece fanfic again. And I still haven't to this day.
Sarah.
Honestly, I feel you, Sarah. Those comments can be so disheartening to hear about.
Criticism can't be constructive if it isn't asked for.
Yeah.
Is what I stand by.
Pretty much. If the author does not ask for your criticism, then all you have to do is say in the comments, I liked it, or I really like this scene, or great job, anything positive, because again, it's for free.
If you don't like it, don't read. If you don't like it, don't watch. Like, if you don't like it, don't interact.
Yeah, and
that's also a thing with a lot of MC YouTubers where they will get constant, like, especially as this one specific that I watch, called XP Crafted. He does a lot of long form, non really edited videos, and he's very soft spoken, but he's very witty, and I really like it. He's very nice to just chill and watch while I'm doing something else. And a lot of people just are like, we don't like your style. You should do something different. You should do more like this other person. And he takes it all in stride, luckily. But it makes me angry, because it's like, if you don't like it, why are you watching him?
Yeah.
Why do you feel the need to comment about his choices?
You know, some people who just likes to post terrible things just to get a reaction out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually,
that's just something that you have to accept.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the YouTuber. I was like, wow.
No. So that brings up a new thing that's been going on thanks to AI, is a lot of certain tags will get this random long ass comment about something or another that they don't like about that pairing, that tag, something. And it was going around so much in a certain tag that a lot of them had to lock their accounts so that nobody without an account can leave these comments, because it was just an AI just hating on all of these fucking fanfics. And it was just like almost like a copy and paste kind of scenario. And I know about this because of the Discord that I'm in. A lot of authors are in it, and they'll post it and be like, hey, does this look weird to you? And yeah, it's really, really bad. I hate comments for no reason. Why are you in the fanfic if you don't like this pairing, or if you don't like this tag? Get out.
Wow.
Leave. Fanfic.
You're not wanted.
Nobody's forcing you to read this character. Like, nobody's forcing you to read this. Get out. Go
holding you at gunpoint and being like, give us your honest opinion of this.
Honestly,
here's the thing.
Just be the ones.
I love the fact that all of these comments happen, but then in my mind, literally, if I read something and I'm thinking along the lines of, I don't think that's how this person would act, I literally am like, I could just write that. I could just write my own story of what I think this would actually be like.
Exactly.
It's the entire thing of, if you think you could do it, why don't you?
Exactly.
And you don't even have to post it. It could literally just be a story you write out to satisfy your own need.
Right.
I can't tell you how many fanfics I've been reading through, and I'm like, I'll be on chapter 5 or something. I'll be like, you know what, this fanfic isn't for me, and I don't leave a comment. I just leave it alone, and I go find a fanfic that I want to read. And if I like it, then I will leave a positive note on it,
or just kudos,
something. It depends on how much I like it. If I really, really, really like it, I will leave them.
A fanfic hits hard and you're like, I have to get my emotions out somehow, and you just key spam in a comment and you post it saying, you broke my heart, and you just post it, and then they respond saying, haha.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think I did that with one author on fanfiction.net, because it was them specifically, because they had a lot of different fanfics that I just absolutely loved to read, And I literally wrote down a message to her, and they got back to me. It was just like, very heartfelt, saying thank you very much for taking the time to read all of them. And I'm just like, you don't even know. I have some of these saved as documents.
Yeah.
Because I want to reread them so bad because they're so good.
Yep.
The same My Hero Academia fanfiction I'm talking about there, I don't think it's very active anymore, but there is a Discord for it. Because I believe it's one of those, like, if you're in the fandom, you should read this type of thing. And so there's a Discord to it, and sometimes when it was more active, we would have Cards Against Humanity nights with custom cards based on the fanfic.
That's cute.
But I remember specifically, I would put memes in my comments slot, because I would comment on every single chapter as it came out. And I would put memes on everything. And so I remember the author really liked some of the memes I put in, that they were prompts in the Cards Against Humanity game. And I was like, yes, I've done good in commenting on fanfic fandoms, I guess. I don't know what you would call this one. I'm like, yeah.
What a niche
that's
skill.
cute though, considering that the author actually remembered those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this was before I even joined the Discord too. So I just got in there and I'm like, wait a minute, this is mine.
That's so sweet.
That's adorable.
It really is. I also love something that you mentioned. If you're part of this fandom, there is certain fan fictions that are like you're supposed to read. Like they're just known to be the best of the best in the fandom.
Or not even that they're best of the best, but they're so widely known and referenced.
So widely popular. Oh my god. All right, wait a second. There's one, and it's a meme and it's terrible. But do you know the one with Gravity Falls?
Which one?
The Taco Bell one?
Vaguely.
That one killed me. It killed me. And it's not you should read this. It's just everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It was terrible.
There's one in Red vs. Blue that is specifically just known as the Washington pumpkin fucking fic.
Oh.
Because it is exactly what it sounds like. The character Washington fucks a pumpkin.
Beautiful.
And it was a point of contention on Tumblr for like a year. And so now it's infamous in the fandom.
Yeah.
I haven't read it myself, but I know of it.
Yeah.
Poor Mikey.
Poor Quiz.
I mean, I've read worse.
Quiz probably heard worse than that.
He said worse to us.
True.
That's not true. You've not witnessed worse. I've not showed you certain things.
But you can go worse.
I can always go worse.
Okay, see, exactly.
Oh.
Pumpkin
Let's see
fucking.
what's next on the... What?
What?
On the what?
What? But
What?
The next one is anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic.
Furries.
Yes.
Is it furry? I don't think I've ever...
Refers to stories in which inanimate objects, non-sentient creatures, or abstract concepts are anthropomorphized, I can't say that word, by giving them thoughts, feelings, and behaviors for fanfic purposes.
So it's not animals.
No, but it's typically associated with animals.
It can be animals. It could literally be just an abstract idea. Because there's like such as personification of fandom itself is listed here.
So maybe like in the DC universe, like Gotham being an actual character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I've read that before.
That's so odd.
Or like in like a Phil's fanfic, how Chat is the crows.
Oh yeah, Chat is the crows. Okay, got it.
So stuff like that.
Sure.
Okay.
interesting.
So most of this sounds alien to me, said Mikey. Yeah, that's
I'm not
fair.
surprised.
I mean, you learn some stuff though. You learn a little bit about fanfic.
Not useful, but you learn.
Yeah, they're not useful, but you know, someday you might get into fanfics, and it'll be a little useful to know some of these tags. What's next?
AU, alternate universe.
That one's
Yeah.
That one's easy. The next one's author, but we all know what an author is.
I would hope so.
When you're walking down the street.
No.
Next one is bad fic.
It's
First,
not
the
a
story
good
is
one.
written in a deliberately horrible manner as a special type of parody story. Usually
Oh,
challenge.
yeah. So
Almost like a crack fic?
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like a
Okay.
very, very crack fic, and
Okay.
like it knows it's a crack fic.
Okay. I'm used to seeing crack fic, not bad fic.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. I don't think I've
Although
ever seen
some of
bad
them
fic.
are just so fucking out there that you gotta give them props sometimes.
I like the ones that start off serious and then end really cracky, and then the author's just like, April Fools, fuck you. It typically happens during April Fools.
Like,
I trust nobody during that time. Like, all of
I was
these
gonna say,
fanfics.
did y'all read some of those fan fictions like when they posted on update on April 1st?
Yes.
And it's a fucking April Fool's goddamn
Yes.
chat.
Fucking ass. I don't trust anybody. I'll get so many like updates of like, this fanfic had update. I'm like, you're lying to me. You're trolling me, you asshole. I know it.
Those are funny though.
They are. They make me laugh every time. I never fall for them though. What's next?
Bamf. Badass motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's a tag.
Cassidy?
It is a tag because sometimes they make a character that's like, this character is awesome and I want to highlight their awesomeness, so it gives the badass motherfucker, and then character tag.
Or like
you-
if the character is known to be maybe not as Bamfy, but they want to write him Bamfy, or like if the character later on in the show becomes better, they want to write that one, so they'll put Bamf in front of their name.
Mhm.
Okay, I see. So it's not the same as a Mary Sue.
It's basically fan service for a specific character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if if people are upset in a show where somebody got their ass whooped when they really shouldn't have gotten their ass whooped, they'll write a fix it fic with Bamfy's character. Yeah.
Next is Bandom, which is like what?
Band
BTS is.
fandom.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's a band
like
fandom.
BTS.
Oh, I was thinking marching.
No!
I was like, what? They're
I'm
not
sure there
bands to
are.
me.
I'm sure there's a Carolina Crown fanfic out there somewhere.
Oh
But-
my god. Bruh, I'm sorry.
The one that is specifically listed here is One Direction.
They're not a
Oh,
band.
God.
They're a boy band.
No.
What do you mean?
A
No.
boy
group.
group. I would consider it a group. Band is
Wait,
people that play
when they
music.
refers- Instruments.
refers to a fandom specifically dedicated to musical group or band.
No,
Okay.
I'm being specific with just that.
In the fandom universe, it's boy bands, but
The
I don't
fandom
touch
universe
those.
is wrong.
We
We're
know.
wrong about a lot of things.
We know, yeah. It's okay.
We do things for fun, not for rightness.
Right? Wow.
We-
Living up to your
Trust me,
namesake.
most of mine, they ain't
What's
right.
Next one is bashing. Refers to a practice in which an author or reader who does not like a character or pairing consciously or unconsciously demonstrates their hatred for the character / pairing within the story.
Oh yeah. I've read a
I've
lot
read
of
plenty of
bashing.
those.
Yeah, I've read plenty of those.
There's stories specifically tagged with that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so like it doesn't necessarily have to do with the character being bashed. It's just they're not gonna have a good time in this story for whatever reason.
They'll usually put like bashing, and then they'll put the character's name next to it.
I saw it a lot in the Harry Potter fandom where Dumbledore was bad. Like Dumbledore bashing, very popular.
Definitely in Gundam Wing, Rowena was bashed a shit ton.
Oh,
but I
hell yeah, she
understand.
was.
She was a dumbass bitch, though. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Wow.
Next one is bestiality. We already know what that is.
Yeah. Well, moving on.
Next one is beta. A beta reader or beta read, something like that, where basically you have a copywriter.
What?
Oh,
Not a copywriter.
What?
That's
An
the wrong
editor?
word.
Excuse
it's
me?
a beta
Editor, an editor,
An editor.
an editor, an editor, not copywriter. An editor.
Copywriter?
The hell's a beta? Yeah, that's what a beta is. It's just an editor. Basically, it was beta read or beta edited. It's like a free editor. Somebody willingly volunteered to read this person's fanfic and edit it before they posted it to make sure that there was no blatant mistakes. I was a beta reader back in the day.
I had a friend beta read one of my fics and she tore it apart, and I have never posted it because there's a lot to fix and I just haven't had the energy to fix them.
Yeah, I beta read through a lot of friends' fanfics, as well as I volunteered for some of my favorite authors to beta read just because I was like, I get to read it first, baby.
And all the mistakes too.
Next is the thing I mentioned earlier, which is a Big Bang. Now, this is no. It refers to. So I participated in some Big Bangs, which is specifically the Christmas RVB Big Bang, where the idea is that, and it's open to sometimes just fanfic writers, just open to artists, sometimes it's open to both, and you will, in this case, fanfic writers are paired up with artists. That's usually how I see it, is that someone writes something and then someone creates art for that writing or something of the sort. But it's basically kind of an art trade type thing, where you say the stuff that you're looking for to be made, someone else makes it for you, and then vice versa. Like a Secret Santa.
Yeah.
A Big Bang Santa. Banging Santa.
These Big Bangs aren't for like readers to get, just readers by the way, to get involved in. This is something that happens between authors and artists and whatnot, and it's usually done on like a Discord, and they'll make like a big event out of it. And like the server that I'm in does one every year for Christmas, where it's just a Secret Santa event. Somebody will, like Sarah said, write out everything that they're into at the moment and everything that they are not into, and do not want to see or read or anything like that. And then the person who gets that person can either make art or write fanfics, and they'll exchange it.
It's just a big art trade thing, really, more than anything. But they're a lot of fun.
I feel like it could go very south very fast.
Typically, at least in the fandoms that I'm in, it never goes south, because these authors are, well, like they're friends pretty much. Like they talk to each other, and it's not something that they let anybody into, kind of deal. Especially when
there's also the ones that I've seen. There's also like backup people, so it's people who have volunteered that if someone can't finish something, they will step in and do it for them.
Yeah.
So that everyone gets something.
Yeah, exactly. That's happened a lot in all of my Discords as well.
Wow.
Or they'll explain that they're going to be a little late to a person, and then that, because it's Secret Santa, so that person is supposed to go to the other person and let them know, hey, your present is coming, but it's just going to be a couple days late.
Yeah, I think last time I did mine was like a couple days late.
We know.
Next is a BNF, big name fan. It's just people who are really well known in the fandom.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
I'm trying to think of some.
It's probably because I don't read in that area, so that's probably why.
I just can't remember names. I can't remember usernames. I remember titles of fics better than I remember usernames, so.
I can't think of any either.
There's bondage and then there's bonding.
Two very different things.
Yeah.
I feel like that's another one that I see a lot. I don't read, but I see a lot of it, of people getting a child.
Adoptions?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Adoptions, or
I've seen a lot of those, especially in the One Piece.
Like they adopt a street child and suddenly they become parents.
I mean, in the DC community and the Batman fandom, all his kids are adopted, so I see that all the time.
I've seen it a couple of times.
I'm skipping through some of these.
Yeah, go ahead and skip through the obvious ones.
There's challenges, because sometimes there are specific challenges that are done
for certain months. Yeah.
Yeah. Why is corporal punishment here?
Corporal?
Yes.
Corporal. Not of the
punishment.
ghosts.
Corporal punishment.
Well, I remember that.
Fanfic is here. Crossovers, across posts.
What? Well, I don't. For the people who are very into fanfics, what was your favorite crossover? Why do you have to laugh like that?
Is it your own?
I laughed. No, it's not my own, but it's the one that I got inspired to make my own.
So what was it? What is it?
It was a massive crossover fic. It's also what got me into Danny Phantom. Cause it was a crossover of Danny Phantom, Gravity Falls, Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians.
Of course.
Oh, and
there's a lot going on there.
I can't remember the rest of them though.
One of the most popular ones is that oh my god, Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons. I think that's the full name of it.
Oh yeah.
That's like one of the most popular crossover fics that you'll find. It's a crossover between How to Train Your Dragon, Brave, Rapunzel or Tangled,
Rise of the Guardians.
Rise of the Guardians. And Frozen.
And Frozen. You can't forget Frozen because people constantly ship Jack Frost and Elsa together.
It's true. So it was Rise of the Brave Tangled Frozen Dragons? Something like that. I remember the title was very long and very ridiculous.
Wow.
That's team too much.
That seems a lot.
Yeah. My favorite back in the day, I don't really read crossovers now, so I can't tell you like a crossover that I would read right now, but my favorite back in the day, because it just made sense, was Inuyasha and Yu Yu Hakusho. They both dealt with demons. Yeah. They both had like a spirit world. I was like, yeah, no, this makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay.
That's funny.
So that like, if you look back in my fanfiction.net days, you will see like more than 100 crossover fanfics for those two. Just made sense. There was another one too, but I can't remember. Let me get on fanfiction.net real quick.
Oh god. She's pulling up her dusty account.
Shut up. Leave my dusty account alone.
Oh, there's disclaimer here.
Oh, yeah, we know what disclaimer is.
Yeah, but that's just disclaimer for anything.
I remember the Wattpad days where everyone would put disclaimers in their summaries saying like, I don't own any of these characters, don't sue me, please.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Did that ever actually happen though?
Yes! Actually, there is a very popular one. I don't remember what fandom they were in, but it was a author who did not like that people were writing fanfics about her books, and it went to court and everything, and she lost.
So then they don't need to do disclaimer because clearly
they don't do it anymore.
There's no reason. You can't stop people from writing dirty crack fanfic about your characters. That's just how the world works.
I honestly cannot remember, but I remember it was a very famous thing that was happening, and this author really didn't like that people were writing fanfics, and she took it to court, and it was a big like scare for the fanfic community because they're like, if she wins, like we're kind of fucked. But she ended up losing
because it's so stupid.
It is very stupid. Like the fact that people are writing fanfics on your stories should give you like that
flattery.
Yeah, flattery, because people are into your story so much that they want to continue it or to like take your characters and put them in different situations because they like your characters so much. People, I don't know. It's stupid as hell.
People are weird.
People are.
There's Drabble, which is just like a really short story.
Oh.
Like 100 words or so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skipping over some of the sexual stuff because we don't need to talk about that.
Why not?
I mean, do you want to talk about Dubcon?
What's Dubcon?
Oh no.
Dubious consent.
Meaning it is questionable whether it is consensual or not. Like a character could be drugged or
silver
a
lining
character.
kind of deal.
Yeah, like it's up to you kind of deal. That's why it's dubious. It's up to you whether the character is consensual in this or not.
I feel like if someone's drugged, it's never consensual.
You know,
Well, there's like previous stuff in the story where it's like, did they agree to being drugged for this? It's unclear.
Yeah,
because
so
there's also like consensual non-consent that also follows the dubcon things a lot time.
Where you consent to not being consenting.
Where it's
like,
where it's like an act. Yeah, it's a role play of
Yeah, one of my favorite fanfics. It's a one shot and it's very, very dirty, but it falls into consensual, non-consensual.
Well.
And it falls into dubcon as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Epistolary.
A what?
What?
Wait.
Refers to stories written not just through prose, but containing documents, emails, letters, text messages, news articles, or other forms of literary media to help tell the story.
That's also Team Too Much.
It's fun to do that though sometimes.
It's Team Too Much if you don't do it right, because then it gets hard to follow.
There's a fanfic that I read that it is Spider-Man, and specifically, again, it is Tom Holland's Spider-Man because it's in the Avengers universe.
It's always the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
It's because he's young, I think, and it's easier to make him do chaotic shit than the other two.
True.
So it's a whole fanfic of him having, and God, explaining the AU as well, because it's him being adopted by Tony Stark and him having a Twitter account and all of the fucking chaos of him having a Twitter account while also being clearly part of the Avengers and being adopted by Tony Stark. And it is a very hilarious fanfic.
They just killed off Aunt May, huh?
No.
Like, either that or Tony kidnapped him. Like, what's going on there?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, in this universe, I think she is dead, actually.
See? There's not many options you could have there.
I think both her and Uncle Ben died together, and that's why he got adopted. Something like that. I don't know. It's supposed to be a comedy. Don't go too deep into it.
Oh yeah, comedy, dead people.
Next.
Fix It Fic.
Yes.
Really good.
Okay, Gremlin.
Just where something happens in the canon, and the fandom takes it upon themselves to fix it.
Oh, like it never happened.
Sometimes it's a death, sometimes it's a plot hole, sometimes it could be literally anything.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
love Fix It Fix.
Yeah, I can see that.
They're my favorite.
There's the fuck or die fix, which is exactly what it sounds like, except they put it into a situation where they have to fuck or die.
Yep.
What?
Simple as that.
No, what constitutes that situation?
It's usually an impossible and ridiculous situation. Let's just put it that way.
Includes classic sci-fi aliens made them do it scenarios.
Sure.
Or they're just in a situation where a
You're
bad
put
guy
before
said,
God.
fuck or die. Fuck or die.
Future fix, also known as post-canon fix, where they're just continuing the story. Gender swap fix.
A lot of those.
Yeah.
Hit or miss.
Hurt comfort, also known as wump.
What?
Wump. Yeah.
Why
It's
is it
where
known as wump?
there's a lot of angst, but then there's fluff at the end because you cause a lot of pain to a character, but then they get the comfort that they need at the end of it.
Yeah, Jason and Tim are
why
very,
is it called
very
wump?
It just is. I don't know what to tell you.
I've never heard of that.
Okay.
Head cannons. Oh god. The next one is heat cycle,
Go on.
which is a part of ABO.
ABO.
Oh, like how they get in heat and they have to fuck people?
Yes. I see in character.
I see.
When people used to role play their characters in the author's notes.
How is it spelled?
Oh.
I see or icy?
So wait,
the letters IC.
Okay.
Before we continue, I looked it up and I was like, why is it called wump? And apparently it is Okay, the term is thought to have originated in the Stargate community fandom by a fanfiction.net user who claims to have coined the phrase Danny Wumping. Danny Wumping was a popular expression for practice of physically and psychologically abusing one's favorite character in fanfiction and then offering them... give me a second, it's not loading. One's favorite character and then offering them comfort. So apparently it's from a very old fanfic writer.
Danny Wumping.
Danny Wumping.
That's where it originated from, apparently.
I wump, you wump, he, she, they, wump.
Wump.
Yeah, wump.
Huh.
Anyways, what were you saying after that, Sarah?
Oh, the in-character stuff. When people would roleplay as their characters in author's notes.
Those can be cute from time to time.
No.
I used to do it when I was younger.
I thought they were funny.
Exactly. I find it funny. I don't find it cute.
They can be a
cute
little
or
cringy.
funny, however you want to think of it.
Cute, funny, a little bit cringy sometimes.
No, all the time.
Shut up. I thought it was funny.
I thought it would be funny.
Nodding is here.
What's nodding?
ABO. ABO.
No, but what is it? I don't know all the ABO
I
stuff.
don't know if I want to explain nodding to you.
I really don't want to, but I'll do it.
I don't, especially not on stream.
Yeah, it's something. It's
Where
Just
the
use
dick
vague
gets
terms.
stuck and it enlarges in there and they're stuck
it's-
together until the nodding comes down. That's basically what it is.
It is. That's basically what it is.
Yeah,
If you
it's
think of
usually
how
after
like
the orgasm.
how a dog works, because dogs not.
Mm-hmm.
That seems very
So they
uncomfy.
can't physically separate from each other until it's gone.
That seems
Yeah.
very uncomfy.
Yeah.
It is.
That is
ABO
not
is-
wump. Let me tell you.
That is not all. It can be, but it's not.
Next is Mary Sue or Gary Stew, Marty Stew, like whatever you want to call it. Mary
Oh,
Sue.
great.
Whatever.
Lucy
Love
shoes.
those characters.
Master list is just it's a master list of stories usually.
Yeah.
Wait,
Metafic.
You said list or less?
List.
List. LIST.
Metafic, which are fun in my opinion, where it's just writing in a very meta way, where just the fourth wall gets broken a lot.
Those can be done very
Will
right
have to
or
be
very.
humorous or crackfic.
Yeah. What's next?
I'm looking Mpreg.
Okay,
That's
you know what?
very-
On
that's
that
a
note,
very-
how about we end it there?
That's a very popular tag, though.
On that note, maybe we should not talk
Usually
about
the
it anymore.
ABO.
Because,
Yeah,
okay, you
It's
know,
ABO.
let's...
That's fucking hilarious, honestly.
Maybe that should be its own podcast episode.
No,
No.
it's not gonna be its own
Going
podcast.
into
No,
the
no,
ABO
we're moving.
universe.
We're moving on.
Who would we
God,
talk
no.
about that with? Oh, we'll find someone. Maybe Hide.
We're not. We're not gonna talk about it.
We're not going to
anybody.
talk about that.
We have to. Someone has
No,
to
we
do the
don't.
good Lord's work.
Absolutely
Anyways.
not.
Well,
I
I
like
wanted-
it, but I'm not talking
before we-
about it.
Before we end, though, I wanted to ask, like, what current fandoms are you guys reading from?
Still One Piece and not My Hero Academia. Haven't read any other of those. One Piece, YouTube, Minecraft YouTubers, and RVB are the main ones at the moment. I might dabble in some Hunger Games. I don't know yet.
Shini.
Going down the line.
Final Fantasy 15. Gundam Wing still.
Fair.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Inuyasha. Berserk. And Overwatch.
I'm obviously still DC. The Minecraft community. Inuyasha still. Harry Potter. I think that's pretty much it right now.
There's a single Mandalorian fic I'm reading too.
The Harry Potter scene scares me because it was booming even back then. Like it
It
was
is.
crazy.
It's still fucking booming, bro. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what the resurgence was for. I think it was Sirius Black and Remus. Is like the new, not new, but like they just got a resurgence all of a sudden. And I was like, oh shit, they're back. Same with Jerry and Hermione and Draco. They just got another boom. I was like, oh shit.
I never, well, that's not true. I was gonna say, I never got why they kept shipping people that were clearly on the good side with people on the bad side, but then I was like, no, it's all about
enemies
the
to
angst.
lover.
It's all about the angst.
I'm gonna say that happens all the time.
Yeah, so
none of the things that I read are canon.
No, absolutely not. And one of my favorite tags is enemies to lover, which is why Prairie and Hermione and Draco like worked for me. I was like, yeah, okay, I see it.
True.
I love when a good character turns evil. I love those ones.
I like those, and I like the opposite too. I like when a good character turns typically bad character, at least into a great character.
Or just not fully evil, you know?
Yeah, just not fully evil. But just so you know, the Harry Potter works, just the normal tag has over 525,000 fanfics. And that's in AO3 alone. That's not counting fanfiction.net and all the other fanfiction areas.
Yeah.
That's true.
And again, it got another resurgence for some reason, because I think, Quiz, you're the one that sent where they like measured everything to see like what was popular right now. And seriously, Sirius and Remus were like number 1 or 2. And I was like, you're still up there?
You sent a what?
I don't remember sending this.
You didn't send it? Somebody sent it.
It would make more sense if Sarah sent it.
Maybe it was Sarah.
I don't think I sent anything with Harry Potter in it.
No, it's not Harry Potter. It was
like a statistics.
Yeah, it was statistics on what fanfics were the most popular in the past year or so.
Oh, I think I did send it.
I was about to say, I wouldn't have said that.
It was probably Sarah then. And if you look at that list, yeah, here, Sirius and Remus are like on the top, as well as some other. I don't want to say weird, but like things that I didn't think were still popular, and it's like, oh yeah, that's.
What are the other ones?
So if I can pull it up real quick, give me a sec.
I'm looking for it too.
There you go, ship ranking. Okay, so AO ship stats summer of 24. This year's top 100. So the very top one is from Good Omens, which was Aziraphale and Crowley. But Sirius Black and Remus Lupin are number 2, and they haven't moved, which is crazy to me. And then a new entry, because of course Baldur's Gate, is Astarion and Tav, because of course it is. And then number 8 is Regulus Black and James Potter, and Draco and Harry. Like, they're still here. Like, they're
That's
not
the top 5.
That is the top 10.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then we'll just end it off on that then.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, typically, if I ever read any fanfic, it's typically just revolving around the games that I play. So, like...
The Overwatch?
Well, not only just Overwatch, because, let me tell you, when you have as many characters as you do in League, and all of the worlds in there...
I can only imagine.
That is true.
That stuff goes crazy.
So, I'm thinking it got a spike in fanfics because of the Arcane anime, right?
Well, here's the thing. That already existed, but the funny thing is it wasn't officially canon. People just kind of assumed it was canon that Vi and Jinx were sisters before Arcane because of like voice lines and stuff that they had. And so you would still, to be fair, it probably still comes out too, but you would see shipping pairs of them together. But obviously now it shifted more towards like Vi and Caitlyn. I know there's some Jinx and Echo stuff because they think, well, they used to know each other, and then they figure he would try and calm down her crazy, or he would go crazy. Typically the fics go one of two ways. But yeah.
Fair enough.
And then all the different, like, that's just Piltover. That's not even talking about the rest of the world that has the infinite amount of characters and stuff. even Yordle stuff, which I never want to look at. But yeah, I'm surprised. There's also when because there's like canon couples in the game and everything, but when Viego came out, because he's supposed to be like this king of Camivore, and he had this entire tragic backstory with his wife who died, and then he tried to resurrect her, and that turned an entire part of the world into like shadow, essentially. Kind of like in Baldur's Gate, the Shadow Curse, those lands. That's kind of what it turned into. But that turned into a big thing, because then they're like, well, what if he actually did resurrect her and all that stuff? Because there's technically like a canon story that went along with an event and everything, where it's like he tried to, was stopped by a bunch of people, and then got imprisoned. But what's something that happens a lot in League is they like either one, retconning things so that it gets very confusing later on, or two, they like leaving something where it is for a very long time, and so you have no clue what's going on in the world. You just learn about like new characters from new places as new champions release and everything.
I was curious about it, and I'm surprised how little fanfics there are of League of Legends, considering there's so many characters and so much like lore.
Well, it's because they don't share that much lore. Even compared to Overwatch, they do not share that much lore.
Interesting.
I don't even remember how much.
You are correct though. Caitlyn and Vi are number 1.
Yes.
And then it's Jason, Victor.
That's not surprising. It's disappointing.
And then Lux and Jinx.
That's disappointing.
What? Hold on, wait. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna ask about Lux and Jinx, because that's not even.
Those are the top 3.
That's not even. Whatever. Anyways.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's not possible. They've never met.
I thought there was like.
Lux is from a different kingdom.
Well, I was thinking of some of the music videos where
the closest that someone from Demacia would get is to Katarina from Noxus, because Garen and her had a thing. And that's Lux's brother, and that's only because Katarina was sent in to kill the king. Like, there's a whole thing.
Oh. That's
it's
what
very
the fanfic,
split up lore, okay?
To be fair, that's what the fanfic community does. They'll take anything, any little thing, any little interaction, any little hint of anything.
They've never interacted.
That honestly, that also works out too. They don't care. It makes it easier to like force an interaction somehow, some way.
Okay, I'm ending stream. I'm sorry. I'm hungry and I've been waiting to eat something. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for talking about something that we're going to be talking about in the future, which is the Alpha universe.
Oh God. No.
And Shini will be there for it. So I refuse.
Bye. Bye. Good night.